But you can imagine, a poor girl from Russia being paid large sums of money, her family being paid large sums of money, or the person who's meant to be acting in loco parentis, and saying, this is your great breakthrough. Epstein is very close to Trump, who had a model agency, remember? He's close to Brunel, who's got a model agency. This will be your career. And you may have to go and, go to the island. Maybe they're going to do things there. They're going to film you in this exotic location. I don't know what they would have said. But, very easy to get vulnerable girls around. And, we remember, I think it was Sarah Ransom, or one of them, said that, she tried to escape. She was so terrified. But there were sharks around there, and they sent a speedboat out to pick her up and bring her back. It's like being on some sort of prison island.
Oh, my God.
And, can you imagine how frightening it must have been? You don't speak the language, you're 14, you're far from home, and you've got these sweaty men who are, indulging themselves with you.
Ogres. It's disgusting. It's a strange thing that we've allowed to happen in our society, because even for years and years and years, it wasn't just those guys. It was like the music scene. It was the Stones, the Iggy Pop. They would sing about this.
Absolutely. And I mean, Jimmy Savile boasted about the young girls coming to his dressing room. Me Too clearly changed things, I think particularly post Harvey Weinstein. I mean, what we've got to also remember is Andrew was friendly with Harvey Weinstein. He was invited to all sorts of parties, including at Windsor Castle. That story hasn't really come out.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
There's a famous picture of Weinstein, Epstein and Ghislaine dressed up to go to this party at Windsor Castle,
where Diddy was performing, presumably.
Well, who knows? I mean, Elton John, is very close to the Yorks, and there are a lot of stories which I couldn't put in about Elton John for legal reasons.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I didn't know that, and I can't ask any further, can I?
We'd better not go there until until the lawyers let this through.
You're not going to tell me it's not his real hair, are you?
Nothing as serious as that.
Okay, well, look, we're going to do a part 2 on this, where we're going to talk about more about Andrew's personality, his bizarre sexual quirks, and his bullying behavior. We're going to talk about Prince Harry and those kinds of things. But while on the Epstein topic here, is there anything else you'd like to say on that?
Well, I think, one of the things that really struck me was that everything is focused on Andrew and Epstein. Sarah had 18 numbers, or he had 18 numbers for her. He only had 16 for Andrew.
And what does that mean, the numbers?
Well, it's like your iPhone, and you have one number for me, or maybe two, but you certainly don't have 18. So basically, I mean, it's mad for someone to have 18 numbers. I know that she used to have all sorts of phones, one for business, one for family, one for lovers. And she used to install extra phone lines when she went on holiday by the pool and stuff. But to have 18 numbers for someone suggests that you are pretty friendly with them.
Yeah.
And no one has investigated that relationship, which began much earlier. It began 10 years earlier than they claim. It lasted much longer. And it's clear that, it wasn't just Andrew going and staying at the houses. Sarah was there as well.
Is there any implication that she might have been some kind of Ghislaine figure?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, she likes freebies, and this was, I mean, she liked, basically, free accommodation, and presumably piggybacking off the contacts he had and the people, that she might meet socially and useful for her commercially. So, that whole story has kind of been shut down. Everyone's saying to Andrew, you come and talk to the FBI, this is just that you are a material witness. You may have seen things. You may have things that can help us our investigation. No one has ever tried to my knowledge, ask Sarah to do that.
That's really interesting. And that's a good point as well. It's another side of this, because we're all saying, gosh, Andrew might have done some horrible things. We don't know the ins and outs exactly. And why aren't the FBI and the police here getting more involved? But also, why isn't Andrew, having been so close with all of that, volunteering to go there and give information that could help?
Absolutely. I mean, and this is the point that Jeffrey Berman, who was the prosecutor, the attorney in New York City, he constantly asked for Andrew to come. Andrew's lawyers would say, oh, yes, we have agreed. And then Berman would say, well, yeah. Gloria Aldred, who was one of the lawyers for the victims, constantly asked for Andrew to come and give evidence. In fact, she actually paid for a bus to drive by Buckingham Palace, saying, "Have you seen Prince Andrew? He's wanted to come and give a chat to the FBI and the lawyers." And when they tried to serve the summons on him, he then fled to Balmoral. His daughter was about to have a baby. You would think he would want to be down there, and hold himself up in Balmoral with the Queen for several weeks in order to avoid being presented with the summons. So this isn't the man of someone who is prepared to engage with law enforcement. This is someone who's hiding from them.
Do you think he'll ever see justice? Will he see the inside of a prison, Andrew?
Well, I hope that there will be some proper investigation of him by the Met and by the National Crime Agency. Maybe new evidence will present itself. Maybe there is sufficient evidence in what I've got in my book. I've certainly got other things which I'm happy to present to the other agencies. But judging from my experience of this country, no one in the royal family is ever going to be arrested or investigated or convicted. So it's all pie in the sky.
Okay, and just a reminder to anyone watching, you're quite happy in your life, aren't you, right now?
Yes. I've got a new spring in my step. I spent 40 years being a literary agent, and I've always wanted to write. And now, I'm beginning to take off as a writer, and I have several more books I want to do. I've already started researching them, so I have no plans to step under a bus or to jump off under a train.
Okay, your Mountbatten book was brilliant, so people should see that.